You'll find NoodleBib listed under popular links on the library's homepage. If you've never used it before, you'll start by clicking on Create a Personal ID, and this is where you just get to set up your login and password. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. To begin using NoodleBib, you start by clicking on Create a New Project. Make sure that you're picking APA and Advanced. And Advanced doesn't mean that it's harder to use, but rather that it allows you to cite every imaginable format of information. And then you want to name it something. So I'm just going to say English 102, my first paper, and create the project. You'll notice that there's places for you to input a lot of different information, but I just use the References section of NoodleBib. So I'm just trying to create my References page. So I'm going to click on References. And then the first thing NoodleBib is asking me is what type of source am I trying to cite? And they put the most commonly cited sources up here at the top, but you'll notice there's all different kinds of things you can cite. So you can cite, for example, a pamphlet or a press release. You can cite all these different kinds of electronic sources, web pages, emails, video, podcasts, just anything you can imagine. They'll have a form for, which is quite wonderful. I'm going to do the journal article because I suspect many of you will be citing journal articles. Before I start entering information, there's one more question that NoodleBib asks, and it asks, how did you see the article? So did I actually view it in print format, or did I get it from a free website, or did I get it from a library database? And typically students are reading articles through our library databases, so I'm going to select that one. You'll notice as you click on the boxes, a blue box appears. This is providing instructions. The DOI is the digital object identifier, and APA really likes DOIs in their citation. So you'll see it says always provide a DOI when available. You'll see this number, it's sort of these letters and numbers, in the databases for the articles that you retrieve. Once you put the DOI in there, you don't need to fill out these three other boxes. If for some reason the article doesn't have a DOI, then I recommend putting in the name of the database. And you'll notice in the instructions here it says only type a name here if you're opting to include the database name instead of a URL. And that's what I'm recommending for you to do. Then you can begin filling out information. I'll just pretend that I'm doing something here. I want to draw your attention to this little red squiggly line and this warning sign here. It's helping me sort of correct the way in which I've entered the information into the form. So it says the first letter of the words listed here should not be capitalized, testing elementary schools, unless it's a proper noun. So that's absolutely correct. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. And then as soon as I fix it, you'll notice that the warning goes away. So pay attention to not only the instructions in the blue boxes, but those little squiggly lines and the yellow warning signs as well. I'm going to go back to a project that I had already worked on that has 4 examples of citations, or actually it might even have more than that. I'm going to click on references so that you can see what they look like. I just want to show you, look at all the different types of sources that I'm citing here. A blog, an unpublished paper, a journal, a lecture, a book, an interview. Once you have all your citations set up, I encourage you not to do this. Don't copy and paste it this way, but rather print export it to Word or to Google Docs. This way, all of these citations will be laid out in alphabetical order, perfect indenting with the heading references. I also want to draw your attention to this little button here that says in-text reference. So when you click on that, let me bring this over here, it helps you in figuring out how to do your in-text citation as well as the references page. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.